NBC has just announced that they are firing Donald Trump from the network. They will no longer have Miss USA or Miss Universe pageants on their network, and they're also no longer going to air The Apprentice, at least not with Donald Trump as the host. Now, if you're wondering why, it's because he hates Mexicans. Take a look.
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're not sending you. They're not sending you. They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people.
Mainly rapists, but I assume some might be good people.
So Univision was the first to sever ties with Donald Trump, and then of course NBC has followed, and here is the statement that NBC released. They say that at NBC, respect and dignity for all people are cornerstones of our values. Due to the recent derogatory statements by Donald Trump regarding immigrants, NBC Universal is ending its business relationship with Mr. Trump. To that end, the annual Miss USA and Miss Universe pageants, which are part of a joint venture between NBC and Trump, will no longer air on NBC. Donald Trump did release a statement about this. He said that Univision apologized to me, but I will not accept their apology. I will be suing them for a lot of money. Miss USA contestants are hurt. And also, Mr. Trump stands by his statements on illegal immigration, so he's totally doubling down, which are accurate, according to him. NBC is weak, and like everybody else, is trying to be politically correct. Long ago, I told NBC that I would not be doing The Apprentice because I am running for president in order to make our country great again. I like how the last sentence is in caps. Like, yeah. I don't get it.
Okay, so he's mad at Univision, who had earlier said we're not going to do Miss USA and Miss Universe. He's mad at NBC, who's now saying it, who's basically told him, no, you don't understand. You're fired. Okay. But now in a great twisty twist, classic Trump move, he says, oh, no, I fired them earlier. Like, I told them I wouldn't be doing The Apprentice, and they're all bothered by it. But wait a minute, you never announced that. That would be kind of big news. That's a huge news that you're not doing Apprentice anymore. You would have probably done a press conference about it, et cetera, right? And no, they fired you for calling Mexicans rapists. So, and by the way, he makes an enormous amount of money from that TV show. Mm-hmm. So I think he's jumped the Trump here, okay? And a huge part of the point of this was to make more money, get his name in the press more, Donald Trump, and then he sells his name.
Right.
And a huge part of that is the TV show. But oops, since he's such an idiot and he couldn't contain himself and he says outrageous things all the time, now he got fired from all those TV contracts and shows. So I think he's done great damage to his brand and cost himself money. Oh, that feels good.
It feels real good.
Now, look.
I feel like society has actually benefited from his ignorance because I hate those pageants. Mm-hmm. So the fact that I don't know, maybe they're going to air on some other network, but I can't imagine any other network wanting to touch Trump right now, especially because he's gone nuclear, with his hatred of Mexicans. And I love how he doubles down on it. Like, these claims are accurate. Based on what, right? Like, oh, they bring their criminals and their rapists and their drug dealers, and based on what? Give us some statistics, right? There are no statistics. And it's because he made everything up. He's a hateful individual, and he's doubling down on everything he believes.
So to Anna's point, think about this. If you're the next TV station who's thinking of working with Donald Trump, remember what he said about NBC today. He says, if NBC is so weak and so foolish to not understand the serious illegal immigration problem in the United States, coupled with the horrendous and unfair trade deals we're making with Mexico, then their contract violating closure of Miss Universe, Miss USA will be determined in court. So he's saying, look, man, if you make a deal with me and anything goes wrong based on what I did or anything else, I'm going to take you to court and I'm going to disparage you all over TV, and that's what I'm going to do, okay? This man's not new to court. Remember, he's been to court many times because he declared 4 different corporate bankruptcies. Right. As recently as 2009, he declared yet another corporate bankruptcy.
Sounds like he'd be really good for the economy.
Yeah, and so that leads us to our final irony. He said about his run for the White House, quote, "I will be the greatest jobs president that God ever created." I don't know that that's God. When he's making someone, he's like, I shall make this one the greatest job president ever, right? But as it turns out, so far, all he's done is cost one job, his own.